Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're in sales, if you're in business, or just someone who wants to get better at sales, then today's video is for you. Have you ever had a customer who seemed interested but just wouldn't say yes? Well, don't worry, because in this video, I'll be sharing 6 psychological techniques from the art of closing the sale that will help you close more deals and make selling effortless. And yeah, before we dive in, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more sales secrets, which we keep posting every week, right? Okay, let's get into it. So, I'm going to talk about 6 important topics. So, amongst them, the first topic is the importance of confidence, right? So, let's start with the first point. Most important thing in closing sale is confidence. We should understand this. Sales is always a transfer of belief. If you don't believe in your product, how do you expect your customer to believe it? Imagine if you're buying a car and the salesperson says, "There's a pretty car, it's a very good car. I think you will definitely like it." Would you really buy from him? No, right? But if the salesperson is saying, "Sir, this car is perfect for you, it's fuel efficient, it's stylish, and has everything you need, and it's got good BHP, and it's got good fuel efficiency, and the mileage is really great," and if he's talking more about the features of the product or how it's going to benefit you, right, there are chances that we will be more convinced, right? That's how it works. So confidence comes from the preparation. So before you get into the next sales call, ensure you know your product clearly, anticipate more objections from the customer, and be prepared for it, and speak with certainty. This is the first thing you'll have to remember when you're getting in a sales call or in a sales meeting for that matter. All right. And moving on to the next topic, which is understanding the buying signals. So people who are in sales, you would know what is a buying signal is. And see, this is not for the professionals who's been in the system for a very long time, right? I mean, this would help the newcomers who have just started their career in sales. This will definitely help them. So this is for them. Yeah. So here, where most salesperson usually mess up is here. They don't recognize buying signals. Let's say a customer says, "Does this come in a blue color?" And we, instead of understanding this as a buying signal, we will again start showing the customers the variety of color options available, and again we would go back to the product features. Stop there. That is not what the customer is trying to tell here, right? If the customer is asking you for the color, which means he's interested, right? So there he's giving you a buying signal, which means he's interested. So instead of talking more about the product, start closing the deal, right? And see, if they say, "How soon can I get it?" On what is the delivery time when you're planning to I mean, what is the approximate or a tentative time that you would be delivering? If customer is asking you such questions, you will say, "So if you want the delivery to happen in a week's time, I'll definitely get it done, or if you want it as much as earlier, I'll see what are the best options available, and so if you wanted to take this further, I can definitely quickly have a word with my manager." Take it that way. If you're taking it that way, that also give a lot of confidence for the customer. Okay, these guys can deliver the product soon, so the next steps from the customer will be much more easier. And the third important point, again, the power of assumptive closing. Most people wait for the customers to say yes. "Okay, I'll buy it," right? Some, they don't wait. These are like pros who don't wait, right? They'll assume the sale is already done and they'll lead the conversation accordingly. So instead of asking, "So would you like to buy this?" which will make the customer think, or he'll hesitate. He'll say, "Okay, I'll think about it. I'm shopping around at the moment right now. I'm not really keen on it." Or he might say, "See, I'm looking for more options. I'll evaluate all my options and then I'll let you know." These are the possible answers you might get from a customer, right? Instead, you directly get into the point. So when you're done with your explanation, "So what color you're preferring? Which color do you really like the most in this?" Then if a customer is choosing a color, he says, "Okay, black," which means you're preparing a customer psychologically to buy black, right? And or you say, if he's saying, okay, black is good, okay, so black is good, black is a perfect choice, sir. So can we start with the paperwork? Start asking. Most of us, we don't do that because we have the fear of the customer saying no. Possibly, what would happen? Customer would say no, and then you try to understand the customer why he's saying no, try to address that issue, and then positively circle back again the customer to the same place again. Right? Ask him, can we start with the paperwork, sir? If you like it, then why don't we start with the paperwork? Ask this question. And you know, people usually tend to follow the directions. So you give them, so make the choice easy and natural to them. Give them the directions. That will help them, to take this further, and you don't have to put much of efforts. The customer will guide you accordingly. Fourth important point: handling objections like a professional. Let's talk about objections. Okay, when a customer says it's too expensive, they are actually not rejecting you. They are just unsure about the product fitment. They are not sure if this product is the right fit for them, and if this product with this particular cost is justified or not. Right. So amongst this, customer might get into possible confusion. So when the confusion arises, customer will start arguing with you. He might ask, you might assume a lot of negative situation. He might ask you a lot of negative questions, and he might throw a lot of objections to you, right? So here are things which you'll have to remember when you get into this stage. Two major things that you'll have to remember. Point number one is never argue with the customer. Point number two, don't drop the price immediately of your product. I'll tell you what will happen. So if you start arguing with the customer, which will bring a misalignment between you and the customer. So you're trying to build a wall between you and the customer right now. The communication will become difficult, right? Customer will come up with this negative, thought process, or he might tell, okay, what ifs. He'll use a lot of what if situations right now, right? He'll talk about what if the product is not working, what if the product service is not really good. So if he starts talking about futuristic aspects of the product not working, or any possible negative outcomes of the product, right? So I want you to listen to the customer carefully and acknowledge what he is saying, and appreciate him for asking such questions, right? If you do this, he will not further ask more complicated questions. He'll stop there because he is validated here. You validated them. You validated him that the question what he is asked is valid. Alright? So that's the first step. And then address the concern what the customer had one by one. One by one, address it clearly, logically, and even if he's going back and checking the data, whatever you've told, or the numbers, whatever you've told, or the answer what you've told, should be convincing for him to go back and research also. You'll have to be that clear to him. Right? And the second point is, do not drop the price immediately. If you drop the price immediately, it will possibly give two indications to customer. One, customer might feel you're not transparent with the price, right? And number two is that customer will think, okay, the product is not that great. I think that's why he's dropped the price immediately. Customer will have these two thoughts in his head. So do not do that. I understand every salesperson out there would definitely have a small margin to play around with, right? Everybody does have. So, but you'll have to be very wise in playing around with these margins. And you'll have to do it like a win-win situation while the customer wants to close. At that moment, you'll have to give him a margin and close it accordingly. That's how it works. So keep these things in mind, and this is very important. And see, in this situation, when the customer is asking you, why your prices are so expensive, right? You'll have to tell the customer, sir, that's the very reason I'm trying to pitch it to you. This is meant for you. This will actually save a lot of money for you in the long run. And I'll tell you how it is. Explain him how he'll be benefited. Tell him how he is going to save money out of your product. And you'll definitely have a USP. Align the USP with the customer's need. And there your problem is sorted. So this is one of the major things that you'll have to keep in mind while handling those objections. Yeah. And talking about the fifth point, the law of reciprocity. When you give first, people will feel the need to give back. It's human nature. Okay. So if you offer free advice, a small bonus, or a free trial, they'll feel obligated to return the favor back, usually by buying it from you. Right. So this goes with any kind of product in the market. May it be uh, products like consumer goods, or may it be electronics, or may it be services what we provide, all right, or real estate, or construction business for that matter. They'd always like to take a trial and see how it is. So how it works in real estate, you have a mock-up flat, right? You ask the customer to come up and take a look at the mock flat, or experience center, take them to the experience center and show them how the product works. So this free trials and this freebies will make the customer experience the product, and once they experience the product, they will like it, right? And if it is really solving his problem on a, when he is using the product, and when he feels that this product would solve his problem, and your problem is sorted there, you can easily go ahead and close accordingly, right? And especially when you're selling premium software subscriptions, instead of pushing for the sale, just tell them, boss, we'll give you 1 month of free trial. If you love it, we will discuss further on the full version. So most people who experience the value want to lose it, and they'll definitely buy. That's the fifth point. Now moving on to the sixth point, the magic of the yes set. The more times you get a prospect to say yes before the final decision, the more likely they will say yes to buying also, right? Ask questions like this. Would you like to save money on your purchase? Would it help if this was easier to use? Or do you see how this could benefit you? Answers for this would be yes. More majorly, 99% of the customer would say yes to these answers. The more of you try, asking them questions like this, framed in such a way that the customer would say yes, there is also a very high chance that the customer will say yes for your closure also. So asking these questions, by the time you ask, shall we start with the process? Shall we go ahead with the process? He'll be mentally prepared, and he's already wired to say yes to you. So that is important, right? So yeah, there you go. 6 powerful psychological techniques, whatever I have told you right now. Try implementing it in your sales meetings or sales calls. This will definitely help you. I'll catch up with you guys on the next video. I'll try looking into much more important or interesting topic to discuss. So until then, I'll see you later.